What if the chaos in your life wasn't the problem? What if the real issue is that no one ever handed you the blueprint to handle it? Every day, we wake up already behind. Notifications buzz before our feet hit the floor. Emails pile up, decisions await, responsibilities pull us in 10 directions, and somehow we're expected to keep calm, stay focused, and make progress on goals that seem to move further away the harder we work. You know that feeling, the pressure to perform, the burnout creeping in, the endless to-do list you never finish, the constant juggling act between urgent and important, between what must get done and what really matters. You try harder. You hustle. You download the latest productivity apps. You follow morning routines and read 10 steps to organize your life articles at 2 a.m. But deep down, you know something's still not clicking. You're drowning in input, but starved for clarity. You're busy but not effective, motivated but directionless. Now imagine hitting pause. Imagine stepping back, not to escape, but to take control, to finally see your life through a new lens. Introducing Priority Design Secrets. Turn chaos into a one-page action plan, not just another self-help book, not just another system, but a complete framework to redesign your decision-making, your energy flow, and your ability to act with clarity and precision. Inside this guide, you'll discover tools that feel like they were made for your overloaded brain. Magnifying glass tilt-to-left to clarity lens to help you cut through noise and isolate what really matters. Cyclone the chaos filter to separate distractions from true priorities. Bar chart quick sort and score smart to rank your tasks not by urgency, but by impact. Compass the structure map and critical path to lay out your journey one strategic step at a time. Brick focus blocks and fast loops to help you stay agile, responsive, and in control when plans change. Page facing up, and finally, the one-pager, your ultimate personal command center. One page, one vision, one action plan that keeps everything and everyone aligned. You don't need more hustle. You need more clarity. You don't need another productivity tool. You need a system that works with your brain, not against it. Whether you're a founder chasing deadlines, a leader managing chaos, or simply someone tired of spinning your wheels, this is a moment of changes. So take a deep breath, because we're about to turn your overwhelm into a blueprint, your distractions into decisions, your chaos into clarity. Welcome to Priority Design Secrets. Let's begin. Headphone Chapter 1, The Lie of Busyness. Let's start with a confession. You've been lied to. Not by one person, but by a system, a culture, a world that glorifies hustle over alignment, motion over meaning, effort over effectiveness. From the moment you learned to tie your shoes, you were taught that hard work is the key to success, that staying busy means you're making progress, that long hours and full schedules are proof of dedication. But here's the truth. Being busy is the easiest way to hide from what actually matters. Think about it. How many times have you ended your day exhausted, only to realize you barely move a needle? How many times have you looked at a calendar jam-packed with meetings, tasks, calls, and errands, yet felt this hollow ache that none of it brought you closer to your real goals? We've mistaken activity for accomplishment. We've made chaos a badge of honor. We've worshipped the grind, and we're burning out quietly in the process. The lie of busyness is seductive. It whispers, if I just work a little harder, I'll catch up. If I check more boxes, I'll feel more in control. If I stay in motion, I won't have to face the deeper questions. But deep down, you know what's happening. You know there's a cost, and you're feeling it. Stop sign the tension in your neck when you try to relax. Stop sign the guilt when you pause, but your mind keeps racing. Stop sign the anxiety that whispers you're behind, even on your best days. And worst of all, the quiet fear that all this effort might not actually lead anywhere meaningful. That's what this book is here to solve. Not just your schedule, not just your to-do list, but the deeper wound, the disconnection between your action and your purpose, between your effort and your outcomes. Here's the reframe. Busyness isn't noble. It's just unfiltered effort, unfocused energy. It's the smoke, not the fire. And you don't need to be busy. You need to be clear. Clarity is the antidote to chaos. Because clarity gives your effort direction. It tells your brain what to ignore and what to amplify. It draws a clean line between what's urgent and what's important. But here's the problem. Most people don't have a system for clarity. They wing it. They hope it clicks. They react. And that's why they stay stuck in the loop of motion without progress. Let me say this clearly. You cannot outperform chaos. You must design your way out of it. And that's what this journey is about. Priority design is not a planner. It's not a checklist. It's a system to help you do the right things, in the right order, for the right reasons, with confidence and peace. And it begins with rejecting the myth of busyness. Look around you. The people who seem calm in the storm. They're not lucky. They're not superhuman. They just have a method, a compass, that guides their focus, filters their distractions, and channels their time into results. They're not reacting to life. They're designing it. And the good news? You can too. Over the next chapters, you'll learn how to apply the clarity lens to see your goals clearly. Use the chaos filter to eliminate distractions. Deploy quick sort and score smart to know what matters most and what can wait. Build your structure map to stop guessing and start sequencing. Leverage focus blocks and fast loops to stay in flow even when life shifts. And create your one-pager, the visual plan that holds it all together. But before we go there, pause for a moment. Let this sink in. Busyness is not your identity. Overwhelm is not a requirement for success. And productivity does not require burnout. You're not behind. You're just buried in noise. And now, we're going to clear the static. The lie of busyness ends today. Clarity starts now. Welcome to Priority Design Secrets, your roadmap out of chaos and into focused, powerful action. Headphone Chapter 2, The Weight of Mental Clutter. Clutter isn't always visible. Sometimes it lives in your mind, quietly, persistently, weighing you down like fog that never fully lifts. You know it's there. It's the mental tabs you keep open long after you close your laptop. It's the reminders that pop into your head when you're trying to sleep. It's the silent pressure to remember everything, fix everything, and respond to everyone immediately. Mental clutter is heavy, but unlike physical clutter, it doesn't pile up in corners or get tossed into drawers. It builds in your thoughts, in your focus, in your ability to make decisions. And if you don't learn how to manage it, it will manage you. Here's what most people don't realize. Your brain is a brilliant engine, but it's not built for storage. It's built for processing. And every time you force it to carry dozens of half-finished thoughts, unresolved decisions, and scattered to-dos, it slows down. It loses sharpness. You burn mental energy on things you're not even acting on, just remembering. That's the weight. And it explains why you feel tired, even when you haven't done much. Why you forget simple things while obsessing over unimportant ones. Why you feel overwhelmed without being overworked. The first key to reclaiming your mind and your power is to clear the mental clutter, to stop trying to hold it all in your head and start designing a way to offload, sort, and filter what actually deserves your attention. This is where the journey begins, with two powerful tools. Brain, the clarity lens. Magnifying glass still to the left, the chaos filter. Let's start with the clarity lens. Imagine holding a lens to your life that strips away noise and highlights what actually matters. That's what this tool does. It forces you to ask a question most people avoid. What am I really trying to achieve? Not what's on your list, not what others expect, but your real core objective. Clarity doesn't mean knowing everything. It means knowing enough to decide, to act, to move. So here's your first challenge. Take one project, goal, or area of your life that feels overwhelming. Now ask yourself, what's the outcome I truly want here? What's driving me? Fear, pressure, or purpose? What would it look like if this were simple? Write it down. One line, one goal, one truth. You're not simplifying the work. You're simplifying the thinking behind it. Because complexity often comes from confusion, not difficulty. Now enter the chaos filter. Think of your mind as a room. Every thought, task, worry, or idea that enters either helps clean the room or adds to the mess. The chaos filter is your decision-making guardrail. It helps you ask, is this mine or did I absorb it from someone else? Is this urgent or just loud? Is this helping me move forward or just making me feel busy? Every input, email, message, task, commitment, should pass through this filter because not all information deserves your focus. Not all noise deserves your attention. And not all urgency deserves your energy. This is how you begin to unburden your brain. When you use a clarity lens and the chaos filter together, you build a habit of mental discipline, the ability to hold only what matters and release the rest. This isn't about control. It's about freedom. Freedom from overthinking. Freedom from paralysis. Freedom from the endless loop of, I need to do more, that leads nowhere. Let's pause here. Imagine your brain with space. Imagine thoughts moving cleanly, decisions made quickly, energy flowing to the things that actually matter. That's what this chapter unlocks. Not a perfect system, but a path to mental peace, a way to wake up clear-headed, to work with direction, to finish a day and actually feel finished. That is possible, and it starts here with clarity over confusion, with filtering instead of reacting, with deciding on purpose what you will carry and what you will set down, because your mind is not a storage unit. It's your greatest asset, and from now on, we're going to treat it that way. Chapter 3, Redefining Priority. Everyone says you need to prioritize, but let's be honest. Has anyone ever shown you how? Most people treat prioritization like guessing. They look at their list and start at the top or whatever screams the loudest. They confuse urgency with importance. They assume deadlines equal value, and they hope that if they move fast enough, the rest will sort itself out. But let me ask you this. How many times have you finished a day feeling busy, yet deeply unsatisfied, like you crossed things off your list, but the important things still lingered untouched, like your energy was spent, but your purpose was still waiting? This chapter is your moment of truth, because now we move from simply clearing the clutter to learning how to focus your fire. Welcome to the science and art of priority. Key priority isn't a list. It's a ranking. Here's the first thing to understand. You can't prioritize everything. If everything matters, then nothing does. If everything's a must-do, you've just created a new name for chaos. Priority requires courage. The courage to say this comes first. And just as critically, that can wait. So, how do we make those calls with confidence? You use two tools. White heavy checkmark quick sort. Direct hit score smart. Let's unpack them. Gear the quick sort method. Cut through the noise. Quick sort is your fast, intuitive prioritization tool. It doesn't rely on elaborate spreadsheets or multi-step formulas. It uses your internal compass, trained by clarity, to spot what deserves your attention. Here's how it works. Step 1. List everything competing for your energy. Don't hold back. Write down every task, idea, project, or decision on your radar. Step 2. Ask 2 questions for each item. Does this directly support my primary outcome? If I don't do this, what's the real cost? If the answer is no, or if the cost is low, it moves down the list. If the answer is yes, and the cost of not doing it is high, it moves up. You're not just sorting tasks. You're sorting impact. You're saying, what moves the mission forward today? Not what's convenient. Not what's expected. Not what's urgent. But what's essential. Quick sort is about trusting your gut, but sharpening it with clarity. But what if the list still feels overwhelming? That's when you move to the next tool. Brain score smart. Assign value, not just effort. Some tasks feel big, but deliver little. Others feel small, but spark serious momentum. You need a way to tell them apart. Score Smart is a simple system to assign numerical value to your tasks. It's a game changer for decision-making. Here's the method. For each task, score it 1 to 5 in 3 categories. Relevance. How directly does this support your main objective? Leverage. How much impact will this create relative to the time it takes? Consequence. What happens if I delay or ignore this? Add the scores. Anything close to 15? That's top-tier priority. Anything below 9? Park it, delegate it, or delete it. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional. Because when you know what really matters, you stop wasting time on what doesn't. You stop chasing urgency and start building momentum. Direct hit the 80-20 shift. Here's a hard truth most won't admit. Only about 20% of what you do is creating 80% of your results. The rest is filler, fluff, noise. If you don't take control of your priorities, the 80% will devour your day. Meetings, messages, minor tasks that make you feel productive, but keep you stuck. Priority isn't just a technique. It's a filter for your life. And when you apply it daily, everything changes. You speak differently. You show up with purpose. You move from scattered to surgical. And the people around you notice. Collision the power of focused action. There's something deeply powerful about a person who knows what they're doing and why. They don't rush. They don't react. They respond with clarity. They act with intention. That's who you're becoming. And when you master quick sort and score smart, you don't just gain productivity. You gain peace. Because now your brain isn't spinning. Your energy isn't leaking. Your work is aligned. Your goals are structured. And your days, they finally make sense. Let's close this chapter with a declaration. I no longer confuse motion with progress. I no longer let urgency control my direction. I choose what matters. I do it first. I act with clarity. I think with impact. I move with power. In the next chapter, we'll go even deeper. Now that you know how to prioritize what matters, you'll learn how to sequence it for real-world execution. Because priority without structure still leads to burnout. Get ready to build your structure map and unlock your critical path. You're about to start operating like a strategist, not just a worker. Chapter 4, The Power of Sequence. You've cleared the clutter. You've redefined what truly matters. But now comes a question that stops most people cold. Where do I begin? You have your priorities. You've ranked them. But staring at a long list, even a sorted one, can still feel overwhelming. Why? Because knowing what matters most isn't the same as knowing what to do next. That's where the real magic happens. In sequence. Chain strategy isn't a TODO list. It's a chain. Let's bust a myth right now. A to-do list is not a strategy. It's just a container. A storage bin for ideas and obligations. And while lists might keep your tasks visible, they don't show you what depends on what. They don't reveal how tasks are connected or which ones unlock the next. A to-do list says, here's everything you have to do. A structure map says, here's the right order to do it in. And that's what separates overwhelmed people from high performers. It's not how much they do. It's how precisely they stack their efforts. Compass the structure map. Think like a builder. Think about how an architect works. They don't lay bricks before the foundation is set. They don't install windows before walls exist. Everything has a sequence, a logic, a rhythm. Your goals are no different. The structure map is your blueprint. It turns your list into a ladder where every step leads upward, not sideways. Here's how to build it. Identify your primary outcome. What is the result you want to achieve? List out all tasks, actions, and sub-goals needed to get there. Draw connections. Ask, what must come before this? What depends on this being done? What can be done in parallel? You're not just organizing. You're sequencing with strategy. Tasks that seem equal before will suddenly show their hierarchy. Some are gateways. Others are distractions. Some unlock momentum. Others maintain it. The structure map gives you direction. Not just what to do, but when and why. Link the critical path. Find the power line. Now we layer in the next concept, the critical path. Imagine tracing a line from where you are now to the result you want. That line passes through a few essential points. No detours, no fluff. Just a task that, if completed, would trigger the entire system into motion. That's your critical path. It's a minimum set of high-impact actions that move your goal from idea to reality. You might have 20 things on your list, but if only 6 of them are truly critical, why are you spending time on the other 14 first? Let me say it plainly. You don't need to do everything to create momentum. You just need to do the right few things, in the right order. The critical path is your shortcut, not by skipping effort, but by focusing energy. You'll move faster not because you're working harder, but because you're working smarter. Roller coaster from overwhelm to flow. Here's what happens when you apply the structure map and critical path. White heavy check mark your day as clarity. White heavy check mark your work has rhythm. White heavy check mark your results come faster because you're no longer scattered. Even more powerful, you enter flow, that deep, focused state where time fades, distractions vanish, and you build without friction. Because when your actions are ordered, your brain stops panicking. It knows where to start. It sees the finish line. And it finally believes, I've got this. This is how elite performers operate. They don't just move. They move on rails. And now, so can you. Puzzle piece action steps. Before you leave this chapter, I want you to take 10 minutes. Yes, just 10. And do this. Choose a single project or goal that matters to you. Break it down into 8 to 10 tasks. Ask, what absolutely has to happen first? What triggers the rest? What depends on what? Sketch a simple map. Draw arrows. Create a flow. See the shape of your goal. Identify your critical path, the must-do steps that unlock the entire outcome. Once you do this once, you'll never plan the same way again. You won't need to guess. You won't panic when you hit a wall. You look at your map and move. This is your upgrade. From scattered effort to structured action. From hopeful guesswork to strategic execution. From chaos to clarity. You're no longer just choosing what matters. You're building a sequence that delivers it. In the next chapter, we bring it to life. Because even the best strategy collapses under constant interruption. Get ready for focus blocks and fast loops. 2 tools that will protect your momentum and make your plan flexible without falling apart. You now have a path. Next, we make it sustainable. Chapter 5. Staying focused in a noisy world. Let's get one thing straight. Distraction isn't a character flaw. It's the default setting of the modern world. Every platform, every app, every message competes for one thing, your attention, and they're winning. Ping, buzz, swipe, scroll. You pick up your phone to check the time, and suddenly it's 25 minutes later. You sit down to finish one task, and 5 tabs, 3 emails, and 2 Slack messages later, you've forgotten what you were even doing. We live in a world designed to steal our focus. But here's the twist. Distraction is not the enemy of productivity. Unprotected focus is. That's what this chapter is about. Protecting your focus like it's your most valuable asset. Because it is. You can have the clearest priorities. You can build the most brilliant structure map. But if your attention leaks every time something dings, the system breaks. So now we armor up. Brick tool number 1. Focus blocks. Create unbreakable time. You probably heard the phrase time blocking. Sounds simple, right? But here's the truth. Most people block time but don't protect it. A focus block isn't just a calendar entry. It's a contract between your brain and your goal. It's a sacred window where one thing, and only one thing, gets your attention. Here's how to use them. Choose your top 1 to 2 high-impact tasks for the day. Schedule them in your most focused window. Morning for some, late night for others. Turn off every notification. Shut every tab that isn't essential. Tell your body, this is deep work time. But here's the secret ingredient. Start small. You don't need 4-hour marathons. Start with 45 minutes of pure, protected focus. Then take a 10-minute break. Then go again. These blocks are your power moves. They move the needle. Because progress doesn't come from multitasking. It comes from momentum. From the compound interest of undivided effort. Focus blocks reclaim that. Counterclockwise arrows button tool number 2. Fast loops. Stay agile, not rigid. Now, let's talk about reality. Even the best plans get interrupted. Clients call. Kids cry. Emergencies pop up. That's life. And if your system is too rigid, it breaks the moment something shifts. That's why you need fast loops. A fast loop is a built-in reset system. A way to recalibrate quickly when your day goes off script. Here's how it works. At the top of each hour, ask yourself, What was I supposed to be doing right now? Am I still on track? If not, what's the smallest next step to get back? If you've drifted, don't judge. Just loop back in. Use micro adjustments instead of all or nothing thinking. Too many people throw away their whole plan when one thing breaks it. One missed block, one unexpected call, and suddenly the day is ruined. Fast loops stop that spiral. They remind you you're always one step away from being back on track. It's not about perfection. It's about recovery, speedy recovery. Fast loops give you flexibility without losing momentum. They help you work with life, not against it. Brain the focus mindset. Let's zoom out for a second. Focus isn't just a tactic. It's a mindset, a philosophy. Focused people live differently. They say no more often than they say yes. Guard their mornings like treasure. Batch similar tasks together. Create boundaries and respect them. Treat their attention as sacred, not scattered. They don't just schedule work. They protect it. They don't just react. They respond with intent. This is who you're becoming. You're no longer a victim of interruption. You're no longer at the mercy of every ping and pull. You are in command of your hours, your days, your results. Because focus isn't just about what you gain. It's about what you refuse to lose. Repeat button putting it to work. Let's turn this into action. Today, choose one focus block. Just one. Protect 45 minutes for your highest impact task. Start and finish on time. No multitasking. No excuses. Set a fast loop checkpoint every hour. Use a recurring reminder if you need to. At each checkpoint, reset your aim. Try this for one day. Just one. You'll feel the shift instantly. Less noise, more momentum, greater confidence, a return to power. In the next chapter, we tie it all together. You've cleared the clutter. You've defined your true priorities. You've mapped your strategy and learned how to stay in motion, even when life gets loud. Now it's time to put it all on one page. A simple, powerful visual command center that captures your entire system. Not a notebook full of notes. Not a 37-tab spreadsheet. Just one page that keeps you on track every single day. Get ready to meet your one-pager and learn how to build it. Chapter 6, the one-pager, your action compass. You've come a long way. You've learned how to strip away mental clutter. You've mastered the art of true prioritization. You've mapped your goals with precision and sequenced them with intelligence. You've built routines to protect your focus and adapt when things go sideways. Now comes the moment everything comes together, not in theory, not in your head, but in one powerful visual system that brings clarity and direction to every single day. It's time to meet your one-pager, the crown jewel of priority design. This isn't a planner. It's not a journal. It's not a goal tracker. It's your action compass, a living, breathing tool designed to keep your energy, tasks, and direction aligned at a glance. No more flipping through notes. No more wondering what to do next. No more reactive days filled with unimportant distractions. The one-pager is where strategy meets execution. Let's build it together. Page facing up, what is a one-pager? At its core, the one-pager is a single-page snapshot of your operating system. It shows what matters most, what you're actively working on, where your focus should go this week, how it all connects to your bigger goals. It's the bridge between the 30,000-foot view and the ground-level daily grind. It tells your brain, here's where we're going, and here's what we're doing next. It eliminates overwhelm. It short-circuits decision fatigue. And most importantly, it keeps your efforts anchored to meaning. Puzzle piece the 7 core components of a one-pager. Let's break down each section so you can create your own. One mission anchor. Start at the top. One line. What are you building? What's the central outcome guiding this period of your life? Example. Launch and grow my online coaching business to $5,000 per month in 90 days. Or complete my first novel draft by December 1st. This is your North Star. Everything else on the page orbits this. 2. Quarterly priorities. Pick 3 to 5 strategic goals tied to your mission. These are not daily tasks. They're big rocks that drive impact. Think, finalize website, record course videos, pitch 10 agents, not respond to emails. These goals define your focus for the next 90 days. 3. Weekly focus. Now we zoom in. What are you committed to completing this week? Choose 2 to 3 items max. These are directly connected to your quarterly goals. If your week gets busy, these are the non-negotiables. 4. Daily non-negotiables. Reserve a spot for your personal power habits. These are small, repeatable behaviors that keep your mind, energy, and system strong. Examples: 30 minutes of movement, 1 focus block per day, 10 minutes of reflection, no phone before 10 a.m. When your habits are strong, your goals follow. 5. Critical path tracker. Here's where you visualize progress on your most essential sequence. Use a progress bar or numbered list to show what step you're on in your main project pipeline. It's not about micromanaging. It's about maintaining forward motion. 6. Obstacles and resets. Anticipate friction. List anything you expect might slow you down and how you'll respond. Example: obstacle: kids home sick on Tuesday. Reset plan: shift focus block to 9 p.m. that day. Proactive thinking builds resilience. 7. Wins and lessons. Leave space for end-of-week reflections. What worked? What didn't? What will you change next week? This closes a loop. It sharpens your system. Fountain pen: how to use your one-pager. Build it on Sunday night or Monday morning. Print it, post it, make it visible. Then follow this rhythm. Each morning, glance at your one-pager. Block time for that day's weekly focus item. Set your daily non-negotiables. Each hour, use fast loops to check in and course correct. Each evening, mark progress. Capture lessons. Reset anything that drifted. By week's end, your one-pager tells a story. What mattered? What moved? What needs attention next? And best of all, it only takes 1 sheet of paper. Sparkles why it works. The one-pager works because it reduces cognitive load. Your brain no longer needs to guess, remember, or juggle multiple apps and scattered notes. You now have a home base, a decision-making dashboard, a personal assistant that never forgets what's important. It blends strategy and execution, reflection and focus, habits and big goals on one page. It's elegant, it's efficient, it's powerful. Hammer build your one-pager today. Right now, open a blank page. Draw 7 boxes or sections. Label them: mission anchor, quarterly priorities, weekly focus, daily non-negotiables, critical path tracker, obstacles and resets, wins and lessons. Fill it out, even roughly. Then place it somewhere visible. Let it guide you. Let it steady you. Let it whisper every time you drift. Here's what we're building. Here's what matters today. Here's where your power lives. In the final chapter, we bring everything full circle, because clarity, systems, and focus are only tools until they transform how you see yourself. You're not just someone managing tasks anymore. You're becoming someone who moves with precision, purpose, and peace. Get ready to step into your new identity. Chapter 7. Your new identity. From scattered to strategic, you didn't just learn a system. You rewired how you think, how you work, how you live. But now comes the most important shift of all. Not in what you do, but in who you are. This chapter is about claiming your new identity, leaving behind a version of you that lived in reactive mode, that survived each day by scrambling, firefighting, and apologizing for falling behind. That version of you wasn't lazy. They weren't broken. They were simply buried, under noise, under pressure, under the constant tug-of-war between survival and purpose. But that ends here, because now you're not just acting differently. You're thinking like a strategist. And when that becomes your identity, everything changes. Brain-scattered minds make scattered decisions. You may not realize it, but until now, much of your decision-making was reactive. What do I feel like doing right now? What's screaming the loudest? What can I check off the fastest just to feel better? That's not focus. That's relief-seeking. It's impulse wrapped in productivity clothing. And it's how so many brilliant people stay stuck, burning out at the surface while their deeper vision is ignored. The truth is, scattered action is a symptom of a scattered identity. But once you choose to become someone who operates with clarity, the game flips. You stop chasing. You start designing. You stop rushing. You start executing. You stop proving your worth by being busy. You start expressing your worth by being intentional. Direct hit the strategic identity. What does it mean to become strategic? It means you wake up and start your day with awareness, not adrenaline. You don't touch your to-do list until you've reconnected with your mission anchor. You protect your time like a builder protects blueprints, because you know that structure creates freedom. You make decisions through a lens of alignment. You don't say yes unless it moves the mission. You no longer panic when the unexpected happens, because you've built in space to adapt. You are no longer drowning in data. You're calm in the chaos. Not because life got easier, but because you got sharper. Repeat button you don't need to start over. You need to reset faster. Here's the truth. Even with all these tools, you will drift. Life will test your systems. You'll miss a focus block. You'll forget to update your one-pager. You'll get pulled into things that don't matter. And that's okay, because this journey was never about perfection. It's about recovery speed. Scattered people collapse after a bad day. Strategic people reset by the next hour. They don't say, I'll try again next week. They say, back on track, starting now. That's the shift. This isn't about avoiding breakdowns. It's about bouncing back with grace and grit. Hammer and wrench integration over inspiration. Maybe this isn't the first time you felt inspired. Maybe you've read books, listened to podcasts, even built plans before, only to watch them fade. This time is different, not because the material is magic, but because you're going to integrate it. You won't just know the clarity lens. You'll use it every Monday. You won't just remember quick sort. You'll apply it when your list gets too long. You won't just admire the one-pager. You'll update it every single week. You won't just like the idea of focus blocks. You'll defend them like they matter, because they do. This isn't about learning. It's about becoming. And you are becoming someone who is clear, capable, and committed. Someone who leads their life with intention, not anxiety. Someone who knows their mission and builds every day toward it. You are no longer living by default. You are living by design. Checkered flag your closing ritual. Let's end this journey with a ritual. One that you'll carry with you, week after week. Take out your one-pager. Read your mission anchor out loud. Close your eyes. Picture the version of you who's already accomplished it. Then say this to yourself clearly and boldly. I don't need more time. I need more direction. I am not overwhelmed. I am aligned. I am not behind. I am focused. I no longer wait for clarity. I create it. I am a strategic thinker. And I own my outcomes. Now open your eyes. Take a deep breath. And start building. Thank you for completing Priority Design Secrets. Turn chaos into a one-page action plan. This wasn't just a book. It was a shift in how you show up in the world. Now go take up space with calm, with confidence, and with clarity. You've got your system. You've got your compass. And you've got what it takes to lead your mission forward, one page at a time. Let's go. And